Welcome back to Big Nick's Meats and Treats. The big day is finally here. I want to talk to you about the new smoker we got, so let's get into it. So I've been looking around for new smokers for quite a while, and things that I wanted is I wanted a smoker that was over 1,000 square inches, and I wanted something that was made in the US. And I looked for a long time. There's only a handful of pellet grills that are actually made in the US, and they're all really expensive. And for the most part, with the exception of one, most of them you have to order direct from the factory. Yoders, you can go to most stores and see them. But I was looking at Pits and Spits. I was looking at Lone Star Grills. I was looking at the SmokinBrothers, and for the most part, most of them you have to order direct from the factory. So when I went to look at smokers, I found a place online that actually carried Pits and Spits over in Idaho. So I made the drive over there one day to go look at the Pits and Spits, and lo and behold, they had the Myron Mixon smoker there that I was really interested in, but I didn't see any place where you could actually put your hands on one. And all of the US made smokers are pretty expensive, and I was a little leery about spending that much money and not being able to see it first. So I went over there to look at the Pits and Spits, and I really like this Pits and Spits. The one thing I didn't like about it is it's not insulated, and for the most part over here where I live, 4 months out of the year it's below freezing. And I really wanted that insulated smoker so I could use it in the wintertime too. And I took a look at the Myron Mixon smoker, and I really liked it. So that's what I ended up going with. So let's talk a little bit about the features. So one of the things that I was really impressed about with the Myron Mixon Barq smokers made by SmokinBrothers was the amount of cooking surface for the dollar. By far the best of the US made pellet grills as far as cooking space for the dollar. This is a 2400. So this is the Generation 3 Myron Mixon Barq 2400. It's made by SmokinBrothers for Myron Mixon, and huge grill. So you can see it has 4 cooking racks. You can actually cook 16 racks of ribs on this thing. That is massive amounts of space. Other things I really liked about it is everything about the unit is double walled as far as insulation goes, except for the bottom. So the walls all the way around are double insulated. The door is double insulated, has a real nice heavy duty seal on the door. The door is massive. The grates are massive. I really like that, and I like all the stainless steel on the outside. One of the other things that's really unique about this grill is the smokestacks on the back. They call it a downdraft smokestack design. It's designed to keep the smoke rolling around the meat longer versus just going across it and going out the smokestack. I haven't done the first cook on it yet, but I did the burn-in yesterday, and this thing was a smoking machine. I couldn't believe it. Other things that are kind of unique about it is it has a front load hopper. This is a 27-pound hopper, which isn't huge for a smoker that it's this big, but it's bigger than the average 20-pounder. And I like that. Plus, the hopper lid actually gives you a little workspace right here, which is good. Most of the other grills, like my Gorillas, I actually had to pay extra for the folding shelf. Everything about this grill is made in the USA. It's made in Missouri by SmokinBrothers. The controller is made in Missouri. And I think with the exception of maybe the wheels and some nuts and bolts, everything is made in the USA on this thing. Really good. And that was something I really was excited about. So like I mentioned before, it's got a super heavy duty door, which I really like, and it locks into place real good when it's open, so you don't have to worry about it falling down on you or anything like that. Other nice features is every rack slides out, which is really nice, especially when you're having to take a look at your meats on the different levels and stuff. You can slide them in and out. I would probably put a cookie sheet down here, a sheet pan, something like that, just to make sure you don't drip grease all over that. So that's something to think about if you're going to slide it out. So let's take a look at the internals in this thing. Super heavy duty stainless steel drip pan. Really heavy. All stainless steel. The heat deflector, all stainless steel. You can see I did the burn-in yesterday, all stainless steel. And then down here in the fire pot, if we can take a look in there, the fire pot area is all stainless steel. And you can see that the auger comes from the front instead of the side like most of the other ones. So all the silvery part here is all double walled and the bottom is not. So just give you an idea, like I talked about before, you could do 16 racks of St. Louis style spare ribs on here. These are kind of a half-size hotel pans. I use these around for different side dishes and stuff. But I can get 4 of these per shelf in here. That's per shelf. That is a massive amount of space. Really, really like that a lot. That's awesome, okay? Other things I like about it, the fact that the whole unit is built on a cart already. A lot of companies, you have to go buy the cart separately. It's got big, huge wheels on the back, real nice locking casters on the front. I pulled it through the grass here in the middle of the winter time all by myself, and it did great. It's also got this handle here for pulling, which is good. I kind of wish it locked in position, but it's awesome for pulling it around. The unit weighs almost 400 pounds, so it's not light, which is great. That was another thing I really wanted, because before I put my other units on a cart, they would blow over in the wind because we get 50-mile-an-hour winds here pretty regularly. So I wanted a heavy unit too, and this one is heavy. So if we go over to the other side over here, I'll show you where the grease comes down. You can see in the port there where the bucket is right about where the grease drain is. There's actually a little hook in there. I think I'll probably end up just taking a whole tail pan and sliding it under there to catch the grease, just to make sure there's no drips or anything like that. I'll probably do that. So on the controller, I was real used to the controller that was on the Gorillas, and that was one of the things I really liked about the controllers on the Gorillas, is they have a swing that's built in that gives you good smoke, and I really like that. So when I was looking for a unit, I wanted a unit that wasn't going to be just laser focused on perfect temperature. I wanted one that actually has a little bit of swing in it, because that's going to give you good smoke. And from when I did the burn-in yesterday, I think I'm going to be really, really happy with this controller. Getting it connected was a lot trickier than I thought it was going to be. They have an online video and they have written directions. Follow them to a T, because you basically have to connect your phone to the unit, and then you have to connect your phone back to Wi-Fi, go to a IRL address they give you, which brings up a bunch of stuff on how to connect the unit to your network, go through all that, get that connected, and then you go back and register and make sure everything's connected. And it only works on 2.4 gigahertz. So make sure that if you get this unit, that your home Wi-Fi has 5 gigahertz and 2.4, because it's designed to work on the 2.4. Things I really like about the controller: it has 1 degree increments when I'm setting it. That's awesome. When I first got it, you basically press and hold power and the auger button for 6 seconds, and it has a auger prime mode, and it goes for 4 minutes to prime the auger, and it took every bit of that 4 minutes to get pellets into the fire pot. So I really like that. It's got a good cool down process. When I did the burn-in yesterday, I did an hour at 225 and I did an hour at 325. And it didn't get any higher than 8 degrees above and no lower than 8 degrees below what my target temperature was. And there was almost constant smoke, especially at 225, which I really, really liked, because that's where I want the smoke. The fuse is on the front, which is easy to get to. Things that I think might they can improve upon or might deter folks from buying it. If you're just a casual home smoker sort of guy and you just cook for the family occasionally, this is not the unit for you. Okay, this is 2,400 square inches. Something that you can get for $1,000 or less is going to work for you. But if you're just passionate about it like I am, and you like to cook for a lot of people, or you like to do a lot of different meats, this might be the unit for you. But some things that you want to think about is price. Okay, out the door, $3,600. Okay, all the other units I looked at, you know, we're going to be in the same price range or up to 5,000 and less square inches. So it's super spendy, right? So you got to make sure that you're passionate about it and it's worth it for you. Okay. Other things, you spend that kind of money on a smoker, they don't make a cover for it, and it doesn't sound like they have any plans to make a cover for it. So I had to custom order a cover for it. It seems like they should make a cover for it. I mean, it just seems like it. I mean, I want to protect your investment. So Dan over at Ace in Athol, Idaho, he hooked me up. He gave me a cover for it, from his own personal collection. And if you ever get a chance, I'll put Dan's email on here, but if you go over to Athol, Idaho and talk to Dan, he has so many different smokers over there. And I thought I was a barbecue geek until I met Dan, okay? He knows what he's talking about, and he'll hook you up. I'll put his email on there if you want to reach out to him. He's got all kinds of answers for you, and in most cases, he knows some of the manufacturers of these things personally, so he can really get you the in-depth questions. And I was super happy to deal with him over there in Idaho. Other things, controller, it only has one port for a meat probe. I think it'd be great if they had more than one port for a meat probe. Personally, I have my own controller that has 4 wired probes. That's fine. I like that. And in most cases, when I'm doing big meat, I don't even use wired probes, but there's a lot of people that might want more than one port on the controller. So that's something you might want to think about there. Also, there's no pellet dump. That doesn't matter to me because I just burn through pellets so fast, I don't really care. But some people get all fired up if it doesn't have a pellet dump. I don't think that's a big deal. Other than that, so far I haven't found anything I don't really like. The app is handy. It's a web-based app. It's not just like you go to the app store and download it. You actually have to go through like a 3 or 4 step process to get everything connected. But the app does everything that you want an app to do. And I'll show that in other videos, like when I do a cook on it, on how to use the app. But it does everything you want to be able to do. You can't turn the unit on through the app, which is fine for a safety thing, but you can turn the unit off. And everything else you can do through the app that you want to do. So other than that, I haven't found anything I don't like about it, and I'm about to do my first cook on it. So until I see you next time, watch me work, baby.